All right, I have finished my cardio and I have chilled in the car for long enough so that I'm not just huffing and puffing throughout these questions. So how about we just get straight into it with Hot Dog Salesman 345. What's your favorite thing that's changed in your life now that the channel has taken off? So this is honestly like best case scenario ever, because for me, like for the last 8 years, nearly 7.5, one of the biggest parts of my day is, okay, man, I'm excited to go lift. I'm going to get a pump. I'm going to do my cardio. I'm going to eat my meals. I'm working on my gains. Sweet. And now that's just even more amplified as like the point of my days, which is perfect because it's like it doesn't like it never feels like work because I get to do it and like I want to do it. So that's probably the best part, is just the things that I want to do get even more attention and energy than ever before, which is like, you know, it's kind of probably making me a little bit spoiled. Max Benches, what do you do in your free time when you're not at the gym, like video games or TV shows and stuff? I'm working on it. In terms of games, not much. I used to be a Warzone fiend. Like, I've got, I think on my old Activision account, and they've kind of changed the stats because like every new Warzone map they like get rid of. It kind of sucks now from the last time I played it, but I had like over 100 solo wins. And in college it would be like, okay, wake up, instantly on my computer, 2 wins, then get up and do the rest of my day. But what happened was I was doing this loadout glitch where you could get like 10 recons, so you knew exactly where final circle was going to be. And then if you crouched and called in a loadout drop and it landed right on top of you, you glitched inside the loadout. You could see through the walls of it, but nobody could see you, and you were impervious to like bullets, trucks, anything, and it would just be like an instant win. And then everybody had a hot mic, so as soon as I would win, they'd be spectating and they'd see that I did that. I did it like 10 or like 15 times or something, and I think I got banned. So after that, like 3 or 4 years ago or something, I just went like cold turkey and just never really played it again. But in terms of shows, I feel like there's kind of a lull. Like, I've seen all sorts of fucking anime, from like Naruto to Tokyo Ghoul and Jujutsu Kaisen, and like everything kind of mainstream and even kind of a little more like niche and stuff. But I feel like I've kind of already seen most of the good stuff. Like, I don't care about like a Tokyo Revengers or like a Boruto. Like, I'm Naruto'd out. You're kind of just milking it at that point. But I know Frieren Season 2 is going to be cool, so I'm probably going to watch that. I'll have to keep you updated. Chris Gaines, Q4N, brief rundown of Blue's daily macros. So Blue's strict. Blue doesn't go off plan very much. He gets 2 big-ass scoops in the morning, 2 big-ass scoops at night, the occasional treat in between, and that keeps him floating around his healthy weight of about a 150, 155-ish. That's kind of where he bounces around. Now that it's gotten colder, he doesn't want to go outside as much, so he's getting a little heavier because his energy expenditure is going down, but his calories are staying the same. Right, so maybe I should give him like a bowl and 3/4 instead of 2 full scoops. But he definitely put on some good size. He was like 120 when we got him from the shelter, so he's actually kind of beefed up now. Now he's walking around looking pretty good. Frederick Lynn 615, how did you learn to pose properly? What are some tips and tricks, and is it worth it? So, you know, I'm not like a pro poser or anything, but I can hit a mean side chest. Like, I can make myself look how I want, you know, waist sideways and then torso a little bit extra wide to make myself look bigger. And really, it's just practice. Plus, having the camera really helps, because when I set the camera up, I can see my own reflection through the screen and then I can like adjust accordingly. Like, sometimes, especially in a back day or an arm day, I'll hit a back pose and I'll like look at the screen and kind of adjust, like if one arm is higher than the other, just to make sure they're symmetrical. But it's really, the more you do it, the better you're going to get at it, right? So I'd say if you got a mirror and then a tripod, even just your phone camera, that'll be perfect. Maybe look up some some tutorial videos if you really don't know where you're going. Like a lat spread is kind of tricky, like to actually open up your shoulder blades. There's a lot of nuance to it, but same thing. The more you do it, the better you'll get at it. And I want to pose down to make myself look as big as possible at the end of every lift. So a 5-minute pose down in the mirror, you're goddamn right it's freaking worth it. Sujal Mishra 4-5, how do you tell the difference between productive intensity and ego-driven intensity when both feel the same in the moment? That's a good question. That's a very nuanced question. And for me now, what tells me, like, okay, am I going as hard as I should? Like, is this a good heavy set that I'm ready for? Or am I overdoing it? And am I going to, like, actually hurt myself or something? It sounds a little silly to say, but a little bit of just, like, fear and uncomfortability. But also just knowledge of, like, what my prep was. So today, rest day. I did my cardio after, flying home from LA, but I'm not going to hit a lift. Typically, after a big flight like that, plus 2 days of the expo, I'm definitely a bit more generally inflamed. I can tell I'm holding on to like a little bit of extra water. Like nothing crazy, but I can feel like my ankles are a little more swollen. Like I'm definitely not fully 100% recovered right now. So I'm going to use tonight to kind of back off. I wouldn't want to do 3 plates on Smith right now. I wouldn't want to do full stack rows because odds are something in my system is probably going to give. So if I know that my recovery is a little bit off, well, then I might want to back off on the training a little bit more than normal just to accommodate that. But if you feel good, you rested well, your warm-ups are solid, your rotator cuffs feel fresh, you're ready to hit some weights, shit, man, let off the gas, right? Hit it. Lucas Gleich, what kind of legacy do you want to leave? What do you want your life to mean and be remembered for? Holy shit, that's a big one. I don't know if I could say anything specifically because it's almost like I've got 2 lives now. I've got my own regular personal Sam life with all the people who are kind of like, in my circle of family and close friends, and that's its own thing. But now it's like expanded with social media. Like it's to the point where even basically anywhere in the world, somebody who works out is going to say, holy shit, is that Sam? Yeah, that is like a totally crazy, surreal feeling. So if I can think of the things that I want that to mean, like that's kind of what I feel like this question revolves around. It's just go hard, man. Stand for working out, get after it, make gains, make your own kind of personal progress and enjoy the process of doing it. Like that's what I really stand for at the end of the day. Just get a pump and enjoy it. Anything beyond that is just going to be a little more personal preference and kind of person-to-person dependent. Leo Ibarra 777. Whoops. There we go. Do you think it's more important to stay within your calories and not hit your protein on a cut, or go a bit over your calories and hit your protein? So this is a situation that I have been in before personally, because what he's describing is, okay, I've got 200 grams of carbs for the day, I've got 50 grams of fats for the day, and I've got 200 grams of protein for the day. Well, I already ate 300 grams of carbs, and I already ate 100 grams of fats. I've barely eaten any protein, but my calories say I'm under my daily limit. What do I do? And that's where you're looking, at least how I look at it, I'm not even really considering the protein like an energy source of food, which it is, but the way that I think about it is I'm eating my 250 grams per day regardless. That's not changing. So if I eat 500 grams of carbs and then 100 grams of fats and no protein, I'm still going to wake up the next morning a little bit heavier, a little more full of carbs and maybe a little bit of fats, just because I went over on what I'd call the fuel side macros. So that's a little bit of a cope situation where it's like, oh shit, I'm aiming for 2,500 calories. Hey, I'm right there at 2,500. I ate 0 protein and all carbs and all fats. So I guess you've kind of already overdone it because you've eaten all those carbs and fats first, you still want that baseline amount of protein because you need that amino acids to kind of, facilitate your recovery for everything. So that's where I'd say hit your protein, man, and don't go over on everything else just because you think you have room. And an easy tip to make sure that you don't do that is just make sure more of your meals are protein heavy, So I'm every time, I've literally got it right here. Like, I'm not going to take the camera off, but let me take a picture of it because CarPlay lets me put, oh my God, I hate when it does like the 3-second exposure thing. But CarPlay lets me put the macros on the fucking screen. It's probably too bright to see. But I'm looking at it right here. Protein, carbs, fats. I went over a little bit today. That's for freaking sure, eating at the airport. But I want to make sure that my protein value is closest to full out of every meal. And I'm saving more carbs and fats for later because those are the good stuff. That's the stuff that I really want to eat that's fun. The protein's a little bit more plain and, just sort of bland. So just the more protein heavier meals are, the easier it's going to be to kind of stick within those limits. Damascus Industries, what's your unlimited budget dream car? Sky is the limit. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. The only fancy cars that I know are like basic stuff that everybody knows, like Porsche 911, like Lamborghini kind of stuff. But obviously I got the Mustang now, which I thought was really cool back because I rented one like 2 years ago in Connecticut, and that was my kind of inspiration of like, shit, this thing feels freaking sweet. So I was waiting for, I guess, whenever the right time was to kind of just go for it. But in terms of like anything beyond this, that'll be for the future, because like obviously this is cool, but like having a fancy, I won't feel cooler with a cooler car, so it's just not really something I'm always thinking about. But I'm sure fast forward 5-10 years in the future, there will probably be something cool, I don't know, but whatever that ends up being, I'll probably save it for the future. But yeah, definitely the only thing that comes to mind first would be one of the Porsches, because when they get tricked out, they're pretty cool looking. Riley Franz 2800, do you think there will be a time where you reach your fitness goals and are content with where you are? I think so, for sure. Like when it comes to size, especially in like this bodybuilding space now, where I'm kind of on not the lower end for sure. Like when I'm walking around normal fed weight, like 250 is regular. Like for me to be 255, I'm just eating regular food. Like I'm not even trying to bulk. So I'm definitely on the heavier end. But there's guys walking around like 300, like 350 off season. Like, isn't that freaking nuts? So eventually, somewhere between there, I'm going to reach a point and say, like, okay, we're just about there. But I don't have to not be content until I'm at that end goal, Like, this is, I didn't watch the second season of Arcane, but I just saw a clip of, like, one of the main dudes, like the scientist guys. And he's like, shit, man, once a goal is achieved, it's really just the end of the pursuit. And the pursuit is the fun part. Like if you gave me a button that said, Sam, you can instantly be transformed into like your prime time, biggest, leanest, freakiest build ever right now, boom, with no work, with no anything, I'd probably press it because that's crazy. But I'd think about it a little because that's like my whole shtick. Is actually work, not even shtick, but like that's the whole point of everything I've been doing is like working towards it, and like I like the process of doing that because that's kind of this constant reward every day of like, okay, I'm still headed towards it. So I'm not so concerned with an end state, but more so with a current trajectory, right? So it doesn't matter where I end up, but as long as I know right now I'm on a positive track towards where I want to go, well then I'm good. And it doesn't matter how long it would take to get to whatever that end state is. If I know I'm still trudging along at a pace that I'm comfortable with, then I'm freaking good. And that's why I've been lifting so long, and I've been liking the process of doing it, because I'm always making little changes. And those little changes are very fun for me to see. But yeah, I'm sure eventually, if this is like, eventually, are you going to be big enough? Definitely. There will be a point where I'm like, all right, we're good. I don't know when, but that'll happen. Nepali Sam Sulik, you blew up faster than almost anyone in the fitness industry. Do you ever miss the days where you could just lift without the camera? Not a ton, because every time I do the cardio, no camera. Sometimes I'll split the lift into two parts and I'll just do some myself. Like when I did shoulders and hamstrings a couple days ago, I recorded shoulders. I didn't record hamstrings. I just did it on my own. But the way that I do it is very unobtrusive to my training, because I don't have a camera guy walking around with me where I'm like, all right, yeah, record this, man, let's say some stuff. I just get to put the tripod down, get hyped up for a set. Half the time during the workout, I don't even really say that much. All the talking is before and after, and during the pose down. The workout's actually pretty chill. I just put it up, and then it's kind of fun for me because I want to see myself training with a cool camera angle. So no, not really. It's definitely different, but it's not worse because I got it set up in a way that actually works for me. Carlos Alexander Velasquez, 318. How do you balance enjoying the process with staying brutally honest about where you still need to improve? So that's basically okay, how can you be cool with moving forward but still be able to tell yourself, okay, shit, I got to lock in. I got to work on this for real. I got to start doing my cardio. And what's easy about that for me, because I can look back, I told a lot of guys at the expo this weekend, because a lot of them, because the LA Expo is pretty close to the Anaheim Fit Expo. That was, I think, last August-ish, something like that. So when I was at that expo, I was 265, much bigger, much softer, and everybody was nice about it. They said, "Whoa, dude, your face is so much slimmer." But when I look at a picture of myself bulked, I can say, and I'm not being mean to myself, holy shit, I was fucking bulked, just because the difference is so staggering. But I don't take that as an insult. I'm not saying that oh my God, I can't believe I look like that. Because I know I can go back and forth pretty consistently, and I've done it for so long. So I think there's what's the word? There's a proficiency that's involved that's almost necessary to be able to handle really hardcore, just straight up critiques. Dude, you've got to lose 100 pounds of fat in the next 3 months, or whatever that may be. Because if you do have that proficiency to do it, well, then that critique isn't an insult, What's insulting is if someone tells you something completely ludicrous and out of your capability, they're just saying that to be mean. But if you can do it and you can do it, well, then you can just take a critique as a critique, especially if you're giving it to yourself. Because there's a difference between me saying, all right, shit, man, I gotta get my cardio done. I got a few more weeks of dieting. I'm gonna make this shit happen, whatever. Or oh my God, dude, I'm not where I want to be. One is complaining, and then one is just objectively identifying a goal. And sometimes a goal is just a problem that you're trying to solve. But just because you look at it as a problem doesn't mean it's a bad problem. It's just a situation, So really, if I could spin that around, just try not to turn into your freaking number one biggest hater, and be a general critic and say, look, you should work on this. And then you can kind of react to your own statement there and say, okay, how am I going to do that? Let me give myself a plan. Let me work on it and move forward like that. What are we thinking here? Chirag Singh, 5'5". How do you stay consistent? What keeps you going each and every day of the year? Well, that's just kind of because I want to do it, right? It's this lift, this cardio, all this stuff, this is fun for me to do, so I want to do it. I've never gotten home from, I'm going to get home from this whole big-ass weekend trip because I hit myself with the oldest trick in the book. I'm on the plane, left my keys in the hotel nightstand to the car, so I had to Uber home, Uber back to the airport with my spare key, then come back. So it's been a long day, I'm not going to have to convince myself to go home and say, oh man, I want to lay down. Right? Because I want to do that. So the same thing with the training. I mean, it's a totally different situation, but because I want to do it, there is no like policing myself to do it. It's like just something I want to do. And also, I know in the future I want to be able to say that I did it. What's a better situation? You locked in for 6 months or you didn't? So I can kind of put myself in my future tense and say, shit, I'm going to regret it if I slack off right now. Let's go get after it. You know, that sort of thing. B. Punin, is it hard to lift at a public gym? I assume people are constantly coming up to you. Just wondering how you balance that and getting in a good lift. So when I'm traveling, sometimes it'll be a little crazy because like, it's like, holy crap, Sam, what are you doing in this random gym in Colorado this week? You know, or stuff like that. But I've got it really good in my hometown because basically all of the gyms that I kind of circulate between, I've been lifting that for like 6 years, not to say 6 or 7, but literally 7 years. Like the Y that I've been lifting at is the same one that I started working out at the beginning. So everybody around here is already kind of used to it. So it's nothing special when I come in and hit a lift. If anything, it's like, ugh, Sam's freaking doing Smith bench. He's going to be there for 4 sets when I got to wait till he's done or something. Like it's kind of an interesting bubble because it's just much more chill. But even at a busier gym I've never been to and I'm talking to everybody, everybody's just like, I feel like I'm at my own home gym everywhere I go because everybody's super excited about it. And you're going to take a few minutes in between sets anyway. So, I still get my set in. It's like, all right, come on, let's all go hit a set. We'll come back and chat. But it's pretty easy to balance because everybody's always super nice. Like as much online hate as you might see, have never seen any of it in person. Like every other kind of random gym is always like, no shit, let's get a fucking lift, solid. Like it's so that's just super cool for me. Tyler C.D. Ricketts, do you have any tips for getting more comfortable talking to the camera? And I'm kind of repeating myself here, but just start doing it, just kind of start I'm doing it right now. And it's half turning on the camera and not turning into a different person because that's so classic. Like if you go back, I don't even like listening to it, but if you watch one of the first videos that I ever posted on the YouTube channel, probably the first one for like 2 or 3 months, I kind of copied the Rich Piana setup of like in the car, gym, in the car again. And I'm not talking like this. Like in those first few videos, I'm like, all right guys, so we're gonna go hit some chest today. It's gonna like, it kind of makes me cringe to even go back and listen to it. But just practice, man. The more you do it, the better you get at it. Now I've done it like not including, I guess I couldn't really calculate it, but I mean the 1,000th lift video was like 2 or 3 months ago or something. So the more, it's just like the posing, the more you do it, the better you get at it. The hard part is just doing it and adding it up. So I've had a few videos where I didn't even post them, like the first ones I ever recorded, because I'm like, okay, I want to see what I can do here. Didn't like how it sounded. I'm like, shit, okay, let me try another one. Version 2, I'm gonna scrap this one too, don't like it. But by the third one, it's like, all right, shit, we just got to post this. Let's just post one. It doesn't matter what it turns out like. Just do it, get started, jump in with both feet, and then freaking see what happens. But practice helps. If you could lift with any bodybuilder in their prime, who would it be, and what body parts would you hit? Asks Ty Chavez 1924. And I don't know, because honestly, I like lifting with people around. Like an awesome world for me would be like a prime, I don't even know who, but just like a bunch of freaks all lifting at the same time, kind of all doing our own stuff. Like I don't really like being in a, like, all right guys, there's 5 of us, let's all do the same chest day and let's all circulate, because I've got my own pace and everybody else has their own pace. And like, what if I do less volume than the next guy? Like I definitely kind of feel a little more personal about the training. Like I just want to do what I want to do that day, but I like training around people. So really, if I could spin this, the people who I wish I could see training, just like me in the gym at the same time, watching them hit a workout next to me. A prime Ronnie Coleman, insane. A prime, like there's a clip of Dorian Yates. This is like classic training footage. He's just in baggy pants. He's got his shirt off. He's just walking around looking like a friggin' beast. So I'd say a top three would definitely be Ronnie, Kevin, and then Jay. If I could just be in the gym hitting arms while they were all hitting chest or something, that would be freaking nuts. And I'm not saying them like doing a workout as a group. I'm just saying like being able to see those guys hitting something would be freaking wild, you know. Pluto Pistol, how often do you catch people staring at you in public gyms? I'm sure it's only gone up since you started this channel. Not that much, you know. And even then, it's like, you know, I know that I'm like the social media guy, so like I don't take offense to it or anything. So but usually people are actually more chill than you would think. Like it's not that wild because everybody's in the gym to work out, you know. So they're all doing their own stuff too. Like it's not too crazy. Let's see here. Lamb Theon 991. Do we get to see bearded Sam in the big 26? I mean, shit, as much as I can. I'm kind of working on the stubble right now in the sense of just like growing it out a little bit. Here I got a little density. I got kind of a little stash-ish, but we're working on it. I'd say fast forward, 30-year-old Sam is probably gonna have a full beard. I got a slow uptick, and I haven't looked into like any like minoxidil, derma rolling, anything, because like I'm not that worried about it. But also, if you have cats, and I don't know how many other pets this relates to, but minoxidil, like that, the hair growth, like the Rogaine kind of stuff, is extremely toxic to cats. So like if you've got cats in your house, do not have minoxidil next to, like I'm talking lethal. So I got a bunch of cats, even more motivation just not to worry about it. Eventually I think I'll have something going on, but it's going to take a while. Any advice on cameras just in general? Asks LWR Games 1367. Any advice on well, I mean, in what sense? Like, what are you recording? You know, are you doing like just are you going to be a street photographer guy like that dude in New York that I keep seeing TikToks about? Or are you doing like in the gym, like you're recording some clips just for you know your own sake or whatever, just like posing? I'd say don't go overboard at first. And also you might want to look into, this is kind of a hack. They probably don't like that I say this, but a lot of the times you can buy stuff from Best Buy and you've got like a 3-month return period. So you could just buy a more expensive setup than you're really comfortable with. And then if you really don't end up like thinking it's worth it, you could just return it after a couple of months of using it and kind of getting the experience, you know. But I'd say the only tip I could bring up is watch a bunch of camera YouTube video channels, because they bust out everything every which way in terms of like specifics and what's good for you. Because when it comes to cameras, it's very specific. Like cameras are made for kind of specific use cases. Like every time I'm recording this kind of stuff in the car, with all the Sony cameras at least, I'm going to want a camera that can kind of handle a darker environment, because obviously, except for like the car light, it's not very bright out at night. You know, like if I had a camera that isn't meant for low light stuff, like everything back here in the background would basically all look black, you know, or not black, but like pretty freaking dark. So like there's a guy called Kofi. There's a dude called I watch all these. Gerald Undone. Oh man, I'm blanking on all their names, but I'm watching all their videos all the time, because every time there's a new camera thing that's released, I'm like, all right, shit, let me see, A7 V. Ooh, that one's not going to work for me. You know, like I'll literally watch a video and it'll break down like, okay, the specs and the sensor size and the whatever, and now that I've gotten into it so much, I can watch a review of a camera and say, okay, this thing doesn't fit my needs, I'm not interested at all. Or, whoa, this thing is fucking awesome, I want to sell my old camera and get this one because it's going to be better for my stuff. So just the more you get into it, the better. And even then, it doesn't feel like you're like studying something, because if you're into cameras, then watching a camera video is just fun. Ryan Decker lifts. Do you think bodybuilding has affected you positively as a person and helps you with different aspects of your life? I'm sure. I think it's not just bodybuilding, but I think anybody who has a little individual thing that they work on a lot and they put a lot of energy into, and they work like for years, not just like a phase, they kind of just develop a little bit of a different value system than a lot of other people. Like if somebody's day only revolves around, okay, I've got so and so amount of hours I've got to spend doing either like my job or school or something. All right, how can I just spend the rest of my day having fun and like going out and just partying, or like, okay, let's go, like, and there's nothing else that they're trying to like work towards. Whatever, it's your life, it's not mine. But a lot of the guys who I like, they've got something. They've got a little something extra that they're really passionate about, they really want to get into and work on, and they just do it for its own sake, right? Like, relative to any kind of other activity, you could kind of call it like their dream, and it doesn't have to be so grandiose as like anything crazy, but just something that they like, they're kind of driven towards, they're just always thinking about. That's just a person that's wired a little bit differently, and even if it's not lifting, you can kind of recognize it, whether it's like camera stuff, or like videographers, or like any kind of business minded dudes. Like, everybody's hustling their own way towards something that they want to achieve, and that just kind of separates them from just somebody that doesn't have something like that going on. So if you don't have something like that, I feel like that's just a cue to kind of scan around and see what you can put some energy into, right? I feel like throughout somebody's day, you're just giving off a certain amount of energy all the time. I think we all funnel a lot of energy into our phone and just kind of waste it because the phone is very distracting and it's kind of fun. I'm certainly guilty of that. But I also think that I want to be able to like kind of put a magnifying glass up, siphon a good chunk of my day's energy into the gym and everything gym related that I really want to work on. And by siphoning, or not siphoning, but like concentrating it like that, I get way more out of it than I put in, So it doesn't have to be all day. These workouts don't take 8 hours. I'm not doing 10 hours of cardio or like running marathons. But just in those few hours, I want to have a dense energy and like effort and focus and just like, kind of intensity where it adds up over time and it just snowballs forward, if you kind of see what I'm saying. Adrian Carrillo 9275, messed up my adductor today. What steps should I take for recovery? I'd say step one is kind of like a non-step. Don't hurt it anymore. Don't do anything that, like, if I went in and somehow today I did something, adductor was tweaked, like, whoa, okay, leg press hurts, squats hurts, leg curls hurts a little, adductor machine really hurts. Well, my first step is do not do anything that hurts it, and then gradually work back up as it gets recovered, right? Give it some downtime, let it chill, maybe do really light adductor stuff every couple days just to get it moving again. And over time, as long as you didn't really wreck yourself, shit should just kind of heal back up, But you get injured once, shame on no one. Shit, man, it just happens. But if you re-injure the same spot twice because you didn't let it heal and then you came back and hurt it even worse, that's shame on you, right? You already knew it was a problem, so that's where I'd say just make sure it's kind of back to at least a good chunk of a percent first before you start messing with it again. And that kind of goes for, basically anything. What bodybuilder or person is your biggest inspiration or role model, and how has that affected you in your training? Asks Quentin Morris U2W. I don't think anyone super specifically as an individual, but there's definitely bits and pieces that I've taken from all sorts of people, which I think is kind of the best way to get like that role model sense. Like legs, training really hard, heavy, just going nuts on squats, Tom Platz all the way. Consistent cardio, meals. Guess where that came from, right? Straight out of freaking Rich Piana. In terms of just like a regular day of not being thrown off by coming into school. Like, this is back in high school when I kind of started just lifting. Like, I'm taking myself pretty seriously, but I'm only a 180-pound dude. I'm eating Tupperwares with cut up turkey and just Tabasco and a little bit of rice. Like, don't let anybody fucking hate on you because you're doing what you want to do. Like, that's straight out of a Jay Cutler. Like, dude, if people call me with a problem or they complain about something, I just hang up. Done. I'm not dealing with that. I know what I want to do and I'm doing it. Little things like that. And I think that's the best way to like go about that, right? Is just taking little tidbits all over the place and letting them add up, and you kind of just sort of form your own set of values based on that, because everybody's got their own little extra something that you can kind of emulate. And if you grab the best parts of everybody and you try to get even just like a little percentage of them, or you let a little bit of it rub off on you, I think it'll start adding up. Let's see, what are we looking at here? This is kind of a two-parter because so both the same question basically. From Cells Velocity 3254 and Strawberry Bee Cake, are you planning on expanding the watch collection? And what luxury watches are you thinking about picking up? I saw this guy at the expo. I was looking through my tagged photos to see if he posted it, but he was wearing this bronze Black Bay 58, so that's a Tudor watch. So Tudor is like not a spin-off, but kind of a sub-brand of Rolex, where back in, I don't know what year, like early 19... Is it weird to say 1900s when we're talking about, early, I guess, whenever, they kind of had a little bit of a spin-off. But I had seen a picture of that one before, and I'm like, I've seen every time I walk past a watch store, like in an airport or something, and I never see them a lot because they're not all over the place. But every time I see one, I'm like, ooh, I'm walking in here. I want to see this stuff, like just to look because it's cool. And I've seen some of the Tudor stuff, and I'm like, it just didn't really jump out at me, like the GMT, where it's like, if you know watches, you know what I'm talking about. Like the white one with the red and blue kind of Pepsi style look, like it just didn't really do it for me. I don't know, but when I saw this guy wearing the bronze one, I'm like, whoa, what do you got there? What do you got? Let me get a look at that thing. It looked pretty cool. So I don't know, that might be next. I added that to my likes on Chrono 24. I'm just gonna keep watching it for a while. Who's coaching you this prep? Asked Snack the Great. You're looking at him right friggin' here, man. I'm always getting tips, and everybody's making telling me all sorts of stuff. But with the coaching, I mean, I feel like I want to be able to just do it on my own because I know my own stuff. And when it comes to the gym, just like for me, on a more psychological note, like it's my thing. No, there's nobody else that's telling me how to do it. There's no one else like giving me a deadline. Like, I'm doing it because I want to do it. So to add anyone else into that little group, every time I get to go to an expo or things, like I always get to talk and like exchange information, like different different experiences and stuff, and I just learn more about it. But I feel like at the end of the day, it's my thing. So I want to be 100% responsible. So come the Arnold, I mean, shit, if I show up looking like total trash, well, that's on me. That's 100% on me. I got to own it, But that's more fun for me. That's just how I want to go about it, And I guess the freaking, what's the word? Is it the prize is in the pudding? Whatever way that phrase is said is, I guess, just what we're going to see, come next March. So, or this March. So I guess we'll just see how that all works out. John Broerman 27, favorite kind of necklace you wear at the gym? This is the last question. Just a standard steel chain, man. Kind of like cable style, like the ones that are at a ship or anything, like just that kind of like beefy-ish look. I'm not into like a double chain or anything. I ordered this this Amazon like rope kind of looking chains, like the rope style one. I don't know, it just didn't really match. Like, I feel like it looks cool, but it just doesn't really match me. And then I got this Alibaba like big ass iced out moissanite chain. But it's so silly, I don't want to wear it. But I feel like it looks cool, but it looks kind of stupid. But like in just like a far out there kind of way. I don't know. Maybe I'll bust it out or something. It's kind of funny. But yeah, that's all. And then I tell you this. Oh shit! I was, as I was walking out of the gym, I was like thinking I was gonna bust out my own question first, like as a preemptive thing, and then I kind of forgot about it. Yeah, fuck man, it's gone. That's over. But tomorrow there will be a normal video at a normal upload time. No more of this mumbo jumbo midnight crap. Got a little distracted by the expo. But yeah, we're getting back in the groove of things. So no more traveling. We're gonna be camped out. This prep will start to really kind of get I've been serious the whole time. It's not about to get serious, but make sure we're kind of on track. Because my visual that I've been thinking so far, every time I kind of think about like the time frame, is I'm a pilot flying an airliner, and I'm just coming in for a smooth landing, right? Because I got time. I'm ahead of the game leanness wise, for me at least. So I don't have to just like totally crash diet like super quick and like lose a bunch of weight all at once. I'm kind of easing into it. So I just want to make sure my trajectory is nice and steady. I don't throw my game off. I don't get hit with a crosswinds or anything. But if I did, I've got enough time to kind of readjust and get back on track. That's what I'm thinking. But yeah, normal upload time tomorrow. I'm gonna aim for like before 3 o'clock, so no more of this midnight junk. And yeah, shit, man, that's all I got. So I'll see you tomorrow for that.